Oprah Winfrey coming down from the mountaintop like she's a goddess. I don't know, she's buying up land all over Maui. Oh, people are pissed. She did her part. She handed out a couple bottles of water and a few diapers.
There's mixed reaction tonight from Maui, where Oprah Winfrey recently bought hundreds of acres of ag land in upcountry.
Homeowners have been reached out by investors and realtors offering to buy their land. And this is disgusting, and we just want to make sure that people around the world understand our situation and know that Lahaina is not for sale.
You have this massive area that's been burned to the ground.
Yeah.
And then he starts talking about taking it over for the state. That's an insane position to take.
It is.
Post-tragedy. When
And
people are suffering at their most, they can't even believe it happened.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's saying, we're going to take it for the state and make a memorial? How about give the people their homes back?
Joe Rogan has recently called out the elites who are trying to get land from Maui residents, questioning why anyone would think of grabbing someone's land at a point when they needed it most.
It's like, how is that possible? That these people could lose their home and then lose their land? Like, how is that possible?
It is the number one concern of people there in Lahaina.
U.S. Army Reserve Officer Tulsi Gabbard confirmed that the residents were concerned that the state would take their ancestral land.
Lived in Lahaina for 9 generations. Now being told, well, the state, the governor is looking at taking that land, taking ownership of that land.
And it seems like it's not only the state that is eyeing the land. Elites and investors have also been trying to buy land in Maui while offering the residents pennies.
On the island of Maui, now some residents say they've been receiving calls from wealthy real estate investors and developers who are trying to purchase their fire-ravaged land.
Let us unravel what is going on in Maui after the tragedy and how others are allegedly trying to snatch their land. So Joe Rogan invited Tulsi Gabbard, who served as the U.S. representative for Hawaii's 2nd Congressional District from 2013 to 2021, to his show The Rogan Experience, where they discussed the response to the Maui fires. During the show, Joe exposed the fact that it was being alleged that someone was trying to grab Maui's residents' land, and his suspicions were actually confirmed by Tulsi. The members of the show didn't like the proposal to take over the land affected by the Maui wildfires for workforce, housing, or a memorial, as it seems unconscionable and a violation of people's rights and sovereignty. The news has actually surprised the public, who feel like the lack of empathy and timing in discussing taking over the area from the state right after a devastating tragedy is an abuse of power and shows a disregard for the suffering of the people affected. Tulsi talked about the fact that while the state was trying to take other people's land, they were offering them merger funds to help sustain them while they are trying to survive. Tulsi said, "It's insane Hawaii has the highest cost of living in the entire country, and how freaking insulting is it to have the lead disaster response administrator from the Biden administration stand there and proudly say, 'Hey, we're giving everybody one $700 payment.'" She also talked about how no government assistance was provided to the affected communities in Maui after the wildfires, forcing neighbors and families to rely on each other for support and supplies. She flew on a plane from the main airport in Maui to a small airport near the affected area in order to bring necessary supplies to the community affected by the wildfires. Gabbard said families and communities affected were left in need due to the delayed response of the mayor, while the governor's plan to take over the land added to their losses. The concern in Lahaina is that the governor is considering taking over the land affected by the wildfires, which is causing fear among the community who have lived there for generations. The news caused outrage from the public, who claimed that it wasn't fair that the government would try to steal land from the locals, while people like Winfrey owned acres and acres of land. It's no secret that after over 15 years of living in Maui part-time, the talk show host spent the last few months majorly expanding her property holdings in the Aloha State, according to a report from local news outlet KITV4. She spent about $6.6 million on 4 parcels of agricultural land totaling 870 acres in Kula, Maui, and 2 of those parcels were sold by Ulupalakua Ranch last month. One 520-acre plot for $3.89 $1.9 million and another 330 acres for $2.47 million. It was also reported that near the end of last year, Winfrey acquired an additional two 10-acre swaths of land, each for $100,000. The acquisition was met with mixed reactions from local residents, some of whom worried that the purchase would contribute to the displacement of Native Hawaiians. Winfrey already owned over 100 acres of Maui land, according to reports, meaning she now owns roughly 1,000 acres on the island. And so the public believes that instead of trying to displace the affected residents, the government could use some of her land instead. It is also being reported that in the aftermath of the lethal wildfires, residents whose homes burned to the ground are receiving solicitations from off-island real estate investors to scoop up their land.
Now, some residents say they've been receiving calls from wealthy real estate investors and developers who are trying to purchase their fire-ravaged land.
The unsolicited purchase offers, which experts characterize as predatory given their proximity to the devastation caused by the fires, have spurred local authorities to take action to protect residents grappling with the death of loved ones, as well as the loss of their homes and livelihoods. Maui resident Goldian Loe, who owns a home in Napili just north of Lahaina, told CBS Money Watch that she had been solicited by 5 separate entities offering to buy her house, which was not affected by the wildfires. How crazy is that? Lowe said she was dismayed and disturbed by the tone of the emails that arrived in her inbox shortly after the fires had scorched the area, and that one of the offers came from an individual identifying himself as part of a small group of real estate investors who buy homes in and around Lahaina. We've identified your home at 6 Kilinahe Street as one that we'd potentially like to invest in, the email, which addressed Goldine by name, stated. It's always a good idea to see what your home might be currently worth. We've done an evaluation on your home, and you may be eligible for a cash offer. Loe claimed she wasn't sure why she'd been approached, though she stated that it sounded like an automated email. And the fact of the matter is, they obviously hadn't even researched that her house was not within the fire zone, she said. So they're just randomly saying, "Are you ready to abandon your community and get cash for your home?" In the midst of a tragedy, it feels affronting and lacking of empathy or compassion. Another pitch she received, which came from an unidentified team of real estate investors based in Amarillo, Texas, informed her that the real estate market is extremely hot right now, especially in Lahaina. The emailer said they had pinpointed her home as one that they'd potentially like to purchase in all cash, to make this as easy and beneficial to her as possible. Considering her home had not been near the affected area, this team of real estate investors obviously lied about pinpointing her home. And why didn't they want to follow legal procedures to purchase that land? More people have started taking initiatives to help the people of Maui protect their land, with some spreading the message around that Maui is not for sale.
And I just want to remind all you real estate investors around the world, like, Lahaina is not for sale.
Troy J.D.H. Andrade, a law professor and director of the Ululahua Scholars Program at the University of Hawaii at Manoa William S. Richardson School of Law, is providing on-the-ground relief and education for Mauians. He is working to shield from predatory realtors he said are inundating the community. We are trying to help this community at least take a breather while outside pressures are trying to come in and capitalize on this really horrific situation, he told CBS Money Watch. A lot of folks are still trying to grieve and trying to get necessities. Some are still without power and water, while at the same time the community has been inundated with a lot of overreach by outside pressures. The Hawaii Department of Commerce and Consumer Affairs has also issued 2 separate warnings about predatory real estate pitches targeting local residents. In an August 14th notice, the department urged Mauians to be alert to unsolicited offers to buy their property. While property owners have the right to sell their properties, unsolicited offers from buyers may result in owners receiving less than they otherwise would, the agency stated. The appeal of an all-cash offer, a quick closing, a hassle-free transaction, a pre-closing cash advance, the payment of liens, avoiding commissions, avoiding attorney's fees, and avoiding foreclosure are all things owners may be told to induce them to sign a contract under a time deadline that does not allow for the consumer to make a sound decision or consult with others. A follow-up notice said that people have been cold calling landowners in an attempt to purchase properties from those injured and to take advantage of their vulnerable situation. In a move to prevent a land grab by predatory speculators, Hawaii Governor Josh Green signed an emergency proclamation making it illegal to solicit Maiuans to buy their land. Well, it seems like even the state has joined those attempting to grab land in Maui. If that's the case, who is going to protect the residents? A fan on X, formerly Twitter, said, "Here it goes, they are going to start a land grab in Maui. This is your elite trying to take the natives' home away from them. Save Maui for the people it belongs to." Another said, "The people of Maui fire victims are fighting to save their land. Forget what the MSM is saying. They are liars. Maui people are fighting the local, state, and Fed governments that are trying to take their land and need your help. First, share this message in your own way. They need you." So what's your take on what is going on in Maui? Tell us in the comment section. Remember, this video is based on speculation and opinions, and if you enjoyed this content, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more exciting updates. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.